Pelicans lose 123-118. Season's finally over. Presented to you by Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boot Krewe Media. Chaz Chaz, Ross, Lito joining us. Chris Connor coming in. I am in Alabama, so that's why I'm on a deck right now with low light. But anyways, season's over. Let's start with Kyra Lewis. Lito, would you? Kyra Lewis first off the bench tonight.
I'm sorry.
Kyra Lewis is first off the Chris Connor joy. Kyra Lewis was the first.
Chris with the Willie Green symbol polo team issue.
Professional. Hey, coach.
Hey, Kyra Lewis first off the bench tonight.
Listen, I know I've been, clamoring for Kyra Lewis for some time now, to being a part of the rotation, but I really think it's unfair that you throw him into a game of this magnitude where he has like what is he supposed to do? He was in a position, honestly, to fail. He hasn't been getting like consistent reps, especially playing with starters, and then you have him out there playing starters and starter minutes, and then it's just a weird conundrum because you play Dyson over him all the time, but then Dyson doesn't play at all, and then you throw Jackson there, who was terrible, but you throw Jackson there, and he hasn't played in I don't know a month. Like it was just a weird rotational schedule. Shout out to Kyra, man. I guess you did the best you could with what you had, brother.
He didn't. So there's, with Larry out, but this is what we've been shouting. Ross, I think you made a good point in the group chat. They cut Dyson minutes off, right? And we've been screaming this. So you cut, you figured Dyson wasn't a playoff player. Well, then why wouldn't you give people like Kyra Jackson run when they deserve it? Larry Nance clearly was laboring for the last month. You never saw Jackson Hayes. Now you throw Jackson Hayes and Kyra Lewis in. Here you go in a playoff game, and that's what you get.
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense, and I feel like I've been saying for a while that I didn't think Dyson was going to play in the playoffs. I did not, I didn't think it would be. None of us would. You could have given us all a guess, and none of us would have said, "Oh yeah, Kyra's gonna be first off the bench and Jackson's gonna be second." Those two dudes have been collecting DNP coaches' decisions for a month now, and even if you had any indication that those guys you were going to need them at this point in the year, you'd have certainly thought that you'd have given them a little run these last few weeks. Again, look. We know what Jackson and Kyra can and cannot do at this point, and that's fine. But to not even let them get their sea legs under them, not to even let them get some live game run really over the last month, and for them to be basically the first two guys off the bench. It's unexplainable. It's unexplainable.
Chris,
why y'all sound so sad, man?
Well,
dark.
I'm in Alabama. I was saying that, but why are we so sad? I'm not sad, Chris. I'm actually really pissed off because.
Are you?
Yeah. Because
I'm happy this is over, man.
Oh, I'm happy it's over, but it's just look. People need a reality check. The process is broken. You need to make serious changes.
Right, and that might be true, Justin. But you got to look at it from this way: the best way for a better process to arrive, a different process for change to happen, from this kind of torture, this teasing of the season ending, continuing, was for them to lose this game. You know what I'm saying? True. The reality is that a lot of people, myself included, was already looking towards Friday. Right, Minnesota lost yesterday. They played well against Oklahoma City. Throughout the year, they've done well against SGA. They're gonna win Wednesday, and we'll see what happens Friday. And it didn't happen. But look, man, the sins of the season, some inflicted, some just bad karma, bad luck, bad preparation, wherever you want to point the blame. It's a bunch of blame. Everybody's gonna have their opinion. You can blame the coach, you can blame the players, you can blame the stars, you can blame us. Whoever the blame falls on, David Griffin, it's over. It's finally done. And now they can do it again because all of the mistakes that or the things that should have been done, they reared their head in the most important games over and over and over and over and over again. It's time to redo it. And we'll see, this offseason is going to be a crucial one. And I'm happy that we're here. I was tired of playing this song and dance from everything, from Zion to what this team could do, couldn't do, who was going to play, how they were going to play, who was going to be, when they were going to decide to play regular team basketball and when they were going to play ISO basketball. It's over with. People can get surgeries. People can get into better shape. People can, changes can be made, and we'll figure it out, next year, man.
Chaz. I don't even know what to. I
think you're looking at like years of mistakes just adding up from last year. You can rationale the CJ acquisition, but if it really was CJ versus Fox, you look really stupid now, right? You can rationalize, Trajan coming back, but if Trajan really wanted to go to the Kings and you convinced him to come back, you look really stupid now. It's so many things where it's just like, you look really stupid now. The Willie Green thing, if the Willie Green hire, if Swin and Trajan did convince Griff to hire Willie Green, they look really stupid now. Willie Green is, today what happened to Kyra, and I'm not a huge Kyra fan, never have been, but it was totally unfair. It was totally unfair what happened to Kyra. We've been begging for Kyra to at least get an opportunity for months now. You throw him out there to the Wolves. He has a bad stretch and you never see him again. And you know what's funny? If it had worked, he would have said something crazy like, oh yeah, we've been looking for looking for a spot for him, an opportunity to get him on the floor. No, you haven't. It's got fucking desperate. You start throwing shit at the wall. Like it's like, come on, man. It's like this is a really bad staff. Totally underachieved with this roster. I'll say in spite of injury. I think this staff is underachieved. I think this roster, credit to them, credit to Brandon, credit to CJ, credit to all those guys. I feel like they overachieved, and I feel like they dragged this staff to the play-in. What happened with JV again tonight? Criminal. Doesn't get a touch in the third quarter. It's clear and apparent.
You get a touch
bias.
in the third. I'm sorry. Is that an actual stat?
He got a shot.
He got a single shot. No, yeah,
I don't think he got a shot.
Oh yeah, I don't think he got shot in the third. If he did, it must have been one, and I ain't see it. But what happened with JV tonight? Criminal. Same thing happened last game. This man clearly doesn't learn from his mistakes. It's time to move on from Willie Green. His team is going nowhere under his leadership.
Lito, what'd you think of the Zion videos today? What'd you think of that?
I ain't thinking nothing of it. Honestly, like I only focus on who play. Like he wasn't in the lineup. He wasn't suited to, he said he's mentally not prepared to play. I don't know. Okay. All right, Justin. Here you go. I thought it was confusing. I thought from the messaging that he gave us yesterday to what we saw today, and from what the Pelicans have been relaying to us, I thought the timing of having him work out before a game of this magnitude was a little bit confusing because, it's going to give people ideas and thoughts, and now there's video of him doing windmills and dunking, and, fans are going to want to be like, well, why didn't he looks fine. He looks, he actually did look like in decent shape to me. But I mean, to be honest, listen, that man said he couldn't play. I respect it. I didn't feel anything about the video. I saw it, but like I was just more so focused on who we had in the game. I just want to say, shout out to CJ. Had a rough game. It was some ill-advised shots I feel like he took.
You're
You
being
being
really
so
nice right now, Lito. I mean, I can't believe you're being this nice.
I
Some
mean, the season's
ill-advised
over.
shots.
Season's
Some
over now.
selfish basketball is what it was.
Yeah,
But go
yeah,
ahead.
he took a ton of ill-advised shots tonight, and he it was a possession. I think it was 24 seconds left or something like that, and I tweeted. I said Brandon's got to get it back. It might have been before that, and he did not get it back. And also, it was very confusing. If you would have just switched Herb with Jax would have been a lot more complimentary player to have the ball at the top of the key making those passes because he missed Trey for a backdoor cut.
Yep.
He missed I think Jay Rich. And Jay Rich, dog, like what an incredible time to get a flagrant foul. Like regardless of like
Veteran leadership, huh? That's who we traded for. That was our that was our big move in the off. I'm sorry, at the trade deadline. That was our big move. He and Ross was trying to fucking like defend him. He elbowed him in the balls, dude. Like, that's a flagrant foul. You know exactly what he was doing. You know exactly what
I did say he was doing.
Man.
Hey, but wait, hold on. Let me say this.
Sorry,
I want to give listen. The season's over. I'm probably never gonna see these guys again until October. So I just want to say a couple things. I want to give a salute and a bon voyage to JV. I'm gonna miss you, dog. Like,
man.
Oh yeah.
It's been criminal how they handled you this year. Like you not yourself. Like this man has 16, 18 tonight on 9 shots. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you literally just go back to him for the duration of this game, you get steady looks. He was diming shit. You win. It was so many backdoor cuts. You know what I'm saying? The accuracy and the timing of his passes were great. Obviously this man had 18 rebounds. The next closest person had 9 in Jax. So shout out to him, man. I hope I see you on a team and they use you to your abilities. I just want to give a shout out to Herb. Herb had 25 and 5. Herb played great. Awesome. He played great. He was 1 for 5 for 3, but that he ain't let that stop him. And Trey didn't shoot the ball well, but his presence was felt. And Brandon was just getting manhandled. I don't know what the fuck the referees was like. Lou Dort should have 5 fouls in the third quarter. Like honestly, bro, like that shit was crazy to me.
He picked up a bad tech too, bro. I think that tech was real bad.
Well, I don't think. I mean, that was kind of inadvertent. Like,
I mean, if we gonna say it about Josh Richardson, we gotta say it about that tech. Because I had my head down and then I looked. I was like, who's shooting a tech? I mean, who picked up a tech?
Well, it was an inadvertent elbow, and there's just a lot of contact.
Hey, they both end up costing you 1 point.
So, the only thing about that shit was like, to me, he was off, but he got fouled, so he was trying to like regain his balance back.
So it was a flagrant foul and not a tech?
No, it was a flagrant foul. Yeah.
No, they called it a tech though, right? It was 1 free throw.
But they reviewed it. They reviewed the
basketball. They reviewed it,
move.
but they didn't call it a flagrant. It was. I
thought he just said something. I don't know if it was just a flagrant.
But it wasn't flagrant. Like it wasn't ruled a flagrant.
Then if it was just off the elbow, then I take back what I said. But I thought he said something and got attacked. I'm like, nah, not in that situation.
It was just the elbow.
Yeah, we'll go Chris and Ross. Chris, CJ did battle through a thumb injury all year that will require off-season surgery. So, you got to give props to him for battling through an injury. I'm not trying to down him, but when you are injured, especially in your shooting hand, we talked about this earlier about affecting the games in different ways, and that's why I love Herb Jones. Tonight, once again, I think you saw early in the fourth, you went through JV, you hit Josh Richardson with a beautiful pass. I think someone else hit a shot. It might have been Trey Murphy. I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
And then right out of the timeout, you just force an 18-footer, and then you force another floater, and then you shoot a 3.
Yeah.
That's not winning basketball. That's why I say it's selfish fucking basketball, and I can't watch it anymore, dude. That can't be it. That's not it. It's
true.
Not it.
True, but you know what though? That falls like what we're witnessing in regards to that to me is bigger than just like CJ, because sometimes some of those possessions that you're talking about happen when they can't get their offense together in time, right? They the pace is slower. So the shot clock is at like 10, I think with like 10 seconds left or something like that. Now it's all right. Will CJ make a play? They're trying to give Jonas a post-entry pass, and it's taking them way too long to do it. Guys, the spacing's messed up. Like the offensive organization, period, is off, right? So if that's the type of style in which you were going to play, which was all the entire third quarter, which was really pretty much Brandon Ingram or nothing else, if that's how you were going to run it and you don't run a lot of sets or your sets are inconsistent from some of your other players, then it's pretty much set up for guys that are able to get their own. And that means in those type of situations with the way that those defenses that the sets that OKC were running defensively, those kind of looks, they were tailored for either Brandon to make a shot ISO wise or CJ to make a shot ISO wise when JV was out of the game. You got to have more offensive creativity. And maybe we're not having some of these conversations about CJ because maybe they're better looks. It's beyond CJ. Yes, the decision making, you would like it to be better 100%. He should facilitate more. He should have used his presence and how teams were playing him to get these other guys involved. But I think, man, I mean, your frustration with that is beyond just CJ. The offense, period, shouldn't have been 20th. It should have been better. It needs to be more creative. And maybe some of these other guys will have an opportunity to get better looks versus it's just, all right, your turn. All right, I'm going to go. Now it's your turn. All right, I'm going to go. That only works when the guy that doesn't feel like himself right now, or that, you know, that isn't in the shape that he feels he needs to be in right now to be at his best, is out there playing basketball.
So that brings up the important question. I'll go Ross and Chaz. Like, what's next for this team? What's their biggest? I mean, it's a loaded question, but what is their biggest need? Like, what do they need to address most here in the offseason? Ross, we'll go with you then, Chaz.
The bench. And what I mean by the bench is the guys not wearing jerseys. I think you've absolutely got to upgrade the assistant coaches on this roster. You've got to get a stronger group of coaches in there. I mean, I think a lot of this comes back to planning, ensuring execution, holding players accountable, being able to make adjustments at halftime. How many third quarters did we get bombed this year? Not lost, bombed. It just, you know, I won't belabor it anymore. I think you absolutely have to bring in a stronger group of assistant coaches and start there.
Chaz, biggest offseason need. Oh shit! I already know
it's like staff. It's clearly staff. But to not, you know, take Ross's answer, I'll say you got to split Brandon and BI up. It's time to split them up. How you do it, I don't know.
You mean Brandon and Zion?
Well, who did I say?
So Brandon BI.
Oh yeah, my bad. It's like two people. You got the guy who never plays, and you got the guy who plays.
Is Brandon the one?
Yeah, you gotta split Brandon and Zion up, bro. You can't have both of them. You can't have two guys missing 30 plus games. You know what I'm saying? Brandon, look, if Zion gets hurt January 6th, whole season's different. If Brandon comes back maybe 4 games earlier, whole season's different. So you can't have both of those guys, man. But even if you did keep both of them and they played the entire season, I still think the staff would do them both a disservice, because you look how easy it was for Shea in the second half compared to how Brandon had to fight. And even again, man, some of those shots, you know, from CJ and Brandon, CJ can get to the rim a little bit better. But, you know, he got hand things and a lot of IQ wise, CJ has been the same CJ since he was in Portland. He was just younger and he was able to get away with more stuff. And he didn't have a messed up hand. But that Brandon's first step is so slow that when teams really start to lock in like they did tonight in the fourth quarter, there's nothing he can really do but settle for like a tough contested jumper. And he's made a lot of them, but it's just like, it's just such a rough brand of basketball to play, man. And you know, it's really, I think it falls a lot on the staff, but it also falls on his first step as well.
Justin, can I answer that question?
Yeah, I was muted, but yeah, go ahead.
I just want to. You said what they need to address in the offseason. So, they need to go to Hogwarts and they need to go find a fucking wizard that can, or witch that can be a trainer on a staff and fix any affliction anybody has in real time. Like that to me is, if I understand you can make the roster better, independent of Brandon and Zion, which I think you should do. But honestly, dog, if you don't have health, like none of that shit matters, because then you're here again.
Can I ask y'all something? What do you guys think the paths to getting better are? Because you don't have a lot of like valuable players. So, and you don't have a lot of mid salary. So what do you guys realistically think the pathways to getting better are? Because there are some people who do for extensions and stuff like that. You gotta start, doing that.
I'm to be honest, I'm speechless. I remember what was crazy though, for real guys, we even talk about this time last year. We were literally all together doing a live show at fucking Rusty Nail, and like we were elated, and just it was just a vibe, and it was so fun, and it's something that like I have not forgotten. And when Ross brought that up to me, I was like, damn, that's how like low this year's been, which is kind of crazy to think about. And I don't like to be the negative person, but it's just kind of reality. It's like a reality check. Like, damn, we got a lot of questions. Expectations are a son of a bitch. And it was so good, man. But January 2nd, Chris, fucking January 2nd, because Chaz, you've been right the whole time, bro. You've been right the whole time. A lot of people owe you an apology. Because guess what?
Apologies, bro.
Guess what? That was a season derailing loss in LA.
Yeah.
Just gonna tell you right then and there.
Hey, you win that game, you got another chance to get your ass kicked and get out, Willie Green to get out coached. Everything's different.
Yo, I'm sorry, Chaz.
No, go ahead. I'm done. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, I was thinking about this earlier today, right? If that 10-game losing streak was maybe 5 games,
if it was 9, 8,
yo, Lito, as Chaz said, if we were just bad and not atrocious during that 10, like just say we lost 8 of them, 7 of them, but. Chris,
it's over.
Did you get to answer the question, Chris? I'm sorry. I'm like,
I think the team needs to upgrade shooting, man. And they have to.
But Chris, that was a problem last year too. I don't mean
it's been a problem though. It's been a problem pretty much since David Griffin's arrived. I mean,
slow-footed centers and
been a problem for a lot of previous Pelicans and Hornets. Like they just don't need shooting, right? It's just not just 1 or 2. Like it's different variety, of shooting. So, you need you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do at the center position, which would probably mean you're gonna have to sell out because it's hybrid that people want that can be as athletic as Jackson Hayes or be as smart as Larry Nance, but can shoot like, whoever you want to throw Laurie Markkinen is just, they don't grow on trees. So, I mean, but you're going to have to figure out that position. I mean, it's clearly, it's just that was not going to work. And the staff, the coach, the players, nobody was dedicated to making Jonas work and be as valuable as he was last year. It just was what it was. But I think you need shooting, man. If you're able to add shooting, even when Zion goes out, even when Brandon's out, the coverages, the teams, the style of brackets the teams are throwing at you, it's going to allow people are going to have to pay for it versus having to leave 3 to 4 of the same guys open consistently and just not worrying about them throughout nights. And yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. And I think if you're able to do that, the combination of CJ getting surgery and getting back to something that he may find a little bit more comfortable, right? Another step forward that Trey Murphy will probably end up taking. Like you add those things back, getting Zion back in company, it's going to allow, I think, this team to have a better opportunity to make it, even when these injuries will happen. But I think the best path for that is that you got to add shooting in a few different areas on your team.
Because guess what, Chaz, to your Brandon thing, I know you have to make a choice. But if
Not
Brandon's
right
going to
now,
play,
you don't.
no. But if Brandon's going to play the way he did down these last 20-something games, like it's just crazy. It's just crazy to see him get guarded in a playoff game when he's literally going 1-on-5, and the system, as Chris pointed out too. At one point, I'm not lying to you, Brandon was posting up at the junction and JV was posting up at the block. And I'm just like, I thought we were stuck in the 1990s again. I'm just like,
I told you, bro.
How do
This
you
would
want
have been a
Brandon to
great
fucking
team.
operate? You can't.
This would have been a great team in 03. Like in 03, this would have been a great team, bro. It's just, and it's not about, because again, Zion, when he started this season, he didn't look good. Zion did not look good when he started this season. He kind of figured it out. Again, Brandon, it's a benefit finishing the season with fresh legs. But again, you can't have both of them miss so many games. And I do think if you're gonna get the best version of both guys,
you gotta have shooting.
Yeah, Look, that goes without question, right? But I still think even if you go get Trae Young, you go get Kevin Durant, you go get all these people. Unless you're gonna have a Budenholzer type moment where like you play a really good team and that team whooping your ass and somebody twist the ankle, another dude hurt his hamstring, and then your toes on the line for a game time 3. The coaching on this team is so bad, so difficult to overcome. Like
it's really bad.
It's inexplicably bad. It's so difficult to overcome that I don't know how Brandon succeeds with this coaching. I don't know how Brandon and Zion together succeed. I think you can succeed for a while, but even then with Zion, when he was doing this thing by himself, it's like a lot of those games CJ wasn't there. Then you kind of hit a wall. You couldn't beat the Jazz.
I'm watching the replay. I'm sorry, Chad. What happened with did CJ just trip with the 2.8 seconds left? What happened when Herb inbounded the ball? Did CJ just trip on the floor? Like,
I don't know.
That was God, bro.
Yeah.
God.
That's out of misery.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Love Herb, but Herb inbounding the ball, bro. It been rough this season. It been real rough.
No, it's really it's the sideline out of bounds plays that's been rough.
It been rough for her.
We're gonna I'm gonna let y'all get y'all's final thoughts out. So we'll go Ross, Lito, and Chris. Ross, final thoughts.
My final thoughts are: we played a dude.
I'm sorry.
Our first dude off the bench today was a guy that's gotten 20 minutes in the last month. I can't, like, I'm Chris. I'm happy the season's over. Like, I really am. I'm real happy the season's over. I said on our last show that I thought we'd lose this game. I can't. I don't understand. Like, I have to know if that was in the plan. Like, first off, I have to know if it was in the plan, and if it was, there has to be an explanation for it. Jax, at least there's an explanation. Larry was out, right? Yeah, whatever. Like, somebody was gonna have to soak up those minutes. Cool.
You think Josh should be the first guard off the bench?
It is, is what it is. Did he think it's almost like a childish way to think about coaching? Like, to me, to think like, hey, we're gonna give them something they hadn't seen in a while, like surprise tactic, like, or something. It really is. It's almost like a little kid way to think about coaching. I can't justify it any other way. I really can't. This dude has played 20 minutes in the last month, and he was our first guy off the bench. That's just inexplicable to me in this situation. I can't reconcile. Like, I'm just so happy the season's over.
We didn't even talk about the defense.
There's a big opportunity. I'm very much on the train of we do not need to be making any more picks. We do not need to be stashing guys overseas any longer. So I think in the last week, in all seriousness, I think in the last week, you've now started to hear some of those. This player's disgruntled. That player's probably going to be on the block. This player, the team is, might be looking to move on from. There's going to be opportunities in that market. We still have a lot of picks at our disposal. We do not need to be making any of them. There's opportunities this offseason to improve the roster, to get some of the shooting Chris talked about, to bring in, I think, some different skill sets that can really help the roster. So, look, this was a train wreck of a year, and it's done.
Season derailing.
Chris Lito and Chaz.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about our disagreements with everything with this organization the whole year. I mean, I will say closing out, man. If I have any bright spots from this year, I'm happy with the leap that I think Brandon was able to take playing basketball the past last 20 games. The way he closed the year, I think was better than the guy that even showed up last year in the playoffs. It's just a matter of, can we see it for more than 40 something games? Can we see it for 60 games? Is that possible? Trey Murphy took a step forward that I didn't think he was gonna take. He took a to what people are talking about him as a star. He broke records. Like he set historic, bars, right? Doing what he was able to do offensively, so young, with a lot of things against him that we all know about. Herb, man, the dude that was playing basketball before the trade deadline, and this dude, the way he was able, it takes a lot of mental energy and space and confidence to be able to go from where he was at offensively to the dude that he ended the year being. I'm double about that. I'm interested in seeing how that goes, man. And I mean, beyond that, like you got a lot of you have a lot of uncertainty, man. But I'm happy what we were able to see from those dudes in Zion. Yo, got a chance to see the best brand of basketball from Zion on both sides of the floor. A glimpse of maybe what could be. The issue is we are having the same discussion that we have been having in this stretch. We need to all see it together. Can we see that? I don't know, but yo, man, that's where I'm at with it.
Lito.
The moral of the story is you can't be successful in life if you don't know who you are. If you don't have an identity, if you don't do what you do well, if you don't know what you do well, and you stop doing that thing, right? And you try to be something else, like an elephant can't look at a duck and be like, I want to do that. Elephant got to be a fucking elephant, right? Like you got. He gonna
run that back.
Wait. I need you to repeat. No, I need you to repeat that line again.
You don't ask a dolphin why it swims, dog. Like you don't ask a dolphin why it swims. You just watch that motherfucker swim. That's what you do, right? Like you don't question that shit. You do what you do, son. And the thing is like for a large part, for 82 games, 80. This is the 83rd, 80.
Yeah, 83rd.
For 83 games, the Pelicans have literally like came out and they've done something, and then they've reverted back to doing something else. Like you start the game a certain way, and then you end the game a certain way, right? But the two ways are never the same. It's a disconnect between the philosophies on the coaching staff and the execution of the players. We don't know who is doing what. For instance, I don't know who's wrong. I don't know if the coaches are calling these things and the players are just doing some other shit. Because if that's the case, right, we talk about the accountability again, which we did not have this season also. So who is being held accountable and how are they being held accountable? So it for instance, because another thing, right, that 10-game losing streak, I understand, like, Zion is out. I get you lose games because of Zion. You shouldn't have lost 10 of them motherfuckers. There should be schematically something you come up with. You watch your best player, Brandon Ingram, struggle to get shots against certain defensive coverages. Listen, I've never played in the NBA. I've never coached in the NBA, but I do believe there should be some sort of counter to everything. Like there should be motion added. There should be like tonight, I wanted Trey on the same side of the floor as Brandon. Because when that double comes, like he's right there. Like he's right to your right. You don't have to make the cross the court pass. It's right there. I just think there's a disconnect. We got to figure out who we are. You got to find that style. And just because one person is out, I understand who that person is, but just because one person is out, you shouldn't deflect from that style. And here's the other thing too, though. When that person plays, you can't go back to here, you take it. No, you take it. Here, you take it. No, you take it. No, bro. Select the style, run the offense, keep it that way. Like that is the thing. Isolation basketball is the death of the New Orleans Pelicans this season.
But it's been the death for a while now. Chaz, go ahead.
What's the question?
Just final thoughts. I don't even have I don't have any more questions. I'm out of questions. I've been asking the same shit for 5 fucking weeks now.
On the season altogether, man, I say this. It was again, you got lucky last year. This year you didn't get as lucky. No, and then again, you did get a little lucky this year. You did get a little lucky because you did have Zion first half of the season. You know, had him for a little while anyway. At least you got that. But again, bro, I think it's hard to understate how bad this front office and staff has been. They do a total disservice to their players. You draft the guys, Dyson, you know, poor Dyson. Again, this staff is so bad. I don't even know how bad Dyson is. I'm like, maybe he's not as bad as we've seen. Maybe
Dyson didn't even play tonight. You still get
no. But I'm saying it's not a shot at him. It's just saying for us, it's a total organizational failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make a decision on Kyra going into this offseason, and you play him in the first quarter after sitting him for a whole month. You got to make a decision on Jax. You finally play him after sitting him for, broken down Larry. Credit to Larry for fighting through some injuries. Saying credit to CJ battling all year. Credit to Brandon for finishing the game after that ankle. Credit to JV for finishing the game after his ankle. Those dudes wanted it. And that's been the case too often this season. This coaching staff has managed to, snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. I don't blame David Griffin for not making any crazy trade at the deadline, because I'm sure, and I think some of us know, David Griffin looked at Willie Green and said, nah, somebody lied to me. Because you got I just don't see how you go into next season and think health is the answer to this. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe Kyra was first off the bench.
But didn't he play 5 minutes though? That was the crazy thing.
I asked y'all that. I texted you. I was like, "Do you think Kyra's gonna come back in?" Like, Kyra came in for 5 minutes and then didn't see. Because I think OKC responded with a 12-0 run. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Was his existence basically, I guess, set off of whether or not he made that layup?
Yeah, probably so.
But if he makes that layup, does he play longer?
Yeah, about the layup.
You got
everyone
6 minutes.
even.
Yeah.
Oh my!
He got 6.5.
You got 6,
TV timeout. Timeout.
Yo, do you know the Thunder didn't play like a center today?
Yep. I noticed. It was insane. Bro.
Did it ever sit on the floor?
Yo, Jonas could have had 50 points today. Dog, again, bro, I know we keep saying it, but you can't possibly understate how bad Trajan and the staff is. And look, the two dudes, we can say that, you know what? Fuck the offense, right? Fuck the defense. I thought they played great defense first half, but fuck the defense. The rotations are 3 people, right? So there's Willie Green and company. Dude out there listening, I know it's your partner, whatever, man, tell your partner to step the fuck up. You ain't no real friend. Because your boy ain't shit. You tell him step the fuck up. I don't want to hear that shit. Bro, you take JV, after what happened with JV in the fourth quarter last game, you doubled down. You said, I'll show them. And don't give them a ball. JV was killing these motherfuckers. And you tried to lose. You went in there with the intentions to lose. Like Ross said, you just said, "Oh, they ain't gonna see this coming." Kyra, get in there now. What the fuck? Okay.
Crazy.
Really,
I can't believe. I really thought when I saw Kyra, I don't know if y'all had this reaction too. When I saw Kyra on the screen, I had to double check. Wait,
no, I thought I was tripping.
Yo,
I was like, wait,
the fuck
Kyra?
you come from?
I was like,
why stop there?
I thought someone might have gotten hurt. I thought something happened. I thought maybe it was just a I thought maybe like I don't know. Actually,
I thought Kyra broke code and just he put himself in the game.
One of you guys,
Why
one of
stop
you guys
there?
said it earlier.
Why
and
stop
it
there?
The most frustrating thing for me this year is not the losses or just some of the injury. I mean, the injuries obviously are frustrating, but not even the Zion stuff. It's just that like every single game there was something different. Like it was like they found new and creative odd things, like things that just like we would get on here and be like, I don't know why they did that. Like how do you like that happened way too often. And I'm not an NBA basketball coach. I'm not supposed to understand like every little thing that happens, but like far too often we would sit here and be like, I don't know, man. I watch every game. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, I don't know. Like, it shouldn't be like that.
There was a player who didn't know what the hell they was doing. There was an actual player who was like,
that's the stuff you got to find.
Shit, I don't know.
Like, whether it's identity, whether it's, just changing your offensive defensive schemes or, making little adjustments. Like, it can't be. It just can't be this haphazard. Like, it can't be.
Ross, let me ask you something real quick, because here's the other side. Here's the other side of that when it comes to Willie, right? We put him, or he's been put in this box as stubborn, right? Takes too long to make changes, to make the right changes, right? That's the reputation that whether it's fair or not that we've kind of been talking about a lot through fans and some things we've heard from outside of here. I'm trying to wrap my head again around this Kyra Lewis situation. Is there any part of you guys that's like, well, at least he wasn't stubborn. At least he tried to say, fuck it, I'm just, you know what? Or is it like, no, you would have rather him stick with let's say Najee, Josh, and then Jackson would have been taking Larry's place.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie.
It would have certainly, it would have been a more explainable rotate. It's not that. Again, for me, it's not that. In just a nutshell, looking at it, like if Kyra played, it's just the fact that he didn't play at all. Like it'd been one thing if 3 or 4 games ago, like if you spit because look, there was an argument I think. At that point, when we were under 500, the season was very quickly tail spinning. Where it was like, "Hey, look, you just drafted this dude 8th. Like, you got a bunch of injuries. Like, play him, see what you got. Like, see if the dude's any good, right?" That made sense to me. I was never I was on board with that. But then there was also that point in the year where it was like, this dude's probably not gonna help you come late in the season, playoff time or whatever. I'd have been fine even a week ago. Like, if you start working Kyra back, it's just like. You just pulled this dude off cold. That's a really hard. No, I can't give him any credit for that, Chris. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I'm just asking. I understand
the question. For me,
I feel like I'm really curious to see how he learns from his mistakes and if he's able to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really.
I have an answer to you.
I'm gonna let you go, Lito. I thought we were gonna sign up, but screw it. We can just run on. This is JV's third quarter shot chart. That's the shot chart.
I mean, I wish I could
can we see Kyra Lewis's?
Kyra attempted 2 shots that I didn't hit the rim. You realize he had a layup that
I don't care.
He had a layup that went from one side of the.
Kyra was like, and I don't want to. And I really
he pulled like Tony Snell. He really.
I don't want to derail the conversation, but like I'm so like this is so interesting to me.
Why not season?
Do you think Kyra knew? Like, honest to God question. Do you think he went into this game knowing?
It was a shock to everybody.
Guys, come on, guys.
Yo,
it was a shock to everybody.
When I saw Kyra get in that game, my first thought
we didn't know.
My first thought was, bro, there's clearly some things about Willie Green I had no idea of. Like, now I feel bad for criticizing him all season because clearly something's afoot. Clearly.
You got the claw
got arrested on his shoulder.
I ain't never seen no shit like that.
Leo, did you want to say something, Leo?
What's
go ahead. I don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why not just go full Rain Man? Why not just say, Sebring, get in there, Temple, get in there. Why not lean all the way into it? Just go full Forrest Gump. Just lean all the way into it, bro. Lean all the way into it, dog. See, Carlo, you come to the States. Get your passport. Willie, get in there. Like, yo, why stop at Kyra? Like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, coach?
Leo, go ahead. Leo, just go ahead. Close us out.
Is no, my question was Dyson ruled out? Like, was he injured?
No, he was stressed out.
Nah, I didn't see it.
But my question is this: they didn't have a center on the floor. Dyson is a better everything than Jackson Hayes. Why not just let him be the? You know what I'm saying? Like, there was
Can I
nobody.
say something, Leo, to that?
Yeah.
I don't think I didn't think Jackson was like horrific. I mean, I know I saw a lot of people say
he was just
horrendous.
Jackson.
Like,
he was himself.
Fine. Like,
he was himself. He played his game.
Yeah, I mean, he has like 9 rebounds, but like, what, Ross?
There's an undertone to that we all know exactly what it is. It's just funny, man. Like, he was himself. Like, they're underwhelming players. Look, Kyra and Jackson are underwhelming players. It's not like we're not sitting here saying like they shouldn't have. It's just this really funny situation where like you had 2 dudes that have been like totally checked out that were asked to give like super important minutes today. It's just a funny situation that like I never envisioned. I did not think we would sit here at the end of this game being like I didn't even think Kyra Lewis's name would come out of my mouth.
Dog, like
this morning.
No one,
like the fact that he is just funny to me.
That's the thing. I don't even think anyone's that upset about the loss. It's like, what the fuck is your malfunction? How do you do that? It's one thing to be like, damn, all right, you burned the food. You burned the kitchen. You burned the house down. Why would you throw him out there like that? Like, why would you do that, bro?
And that's really the bigger part. Like, it's unfair to that kid. Like, it is. It's not.
Oh my god!
Like, you just play Dyson. Like, you know, like at least he's been playing.
Yeah.
Like, at least he's been playing.
That's
like,
what I'm
you can't
saying.
take a dude that just hadn't been playing and run him out there in a playoff type atmosphere.
Yo, if you think about how
this
insane
ain't
that is, like,
February. This ain't January against the
Yeah, how do you not
Hornets,
go
so.
Dyson? Like, I'd rather you just go like, all right, we're gonna go Dyson again. Like, fuck it. Like, we just went with Kyra Lewis.
No
Kyra
one had
Lewis
even
in
asked
a
for
playoff
Kyra
game.
for this game.
Because look, to Chaz's point earlier, like it's one of those things, and this has been my issue the whole year. Like I try to put myself in the player situation. Like, what is Dyson thinking? Like, you've been basically the first dude off the bench.
What is
for 2
Najee
months.
thinking? What is
But
Josh Richardson thinking?
Those guys basically did the same thing they've been doing for the last 2 months today. Dyson been the first dude off the bench for 2 months.
And
like,
it's been the wrong decision for 2 months as well.
I know but that's not what I'm saying, Chaz. That's
I know. I'm just saying, like, damn.
It just is such an interesting situation where, like, when he goes home tonight, like, what, you know, and his parents call, like, hey, you know, tough loss, season's over, or whatever. Like, what does he say? Like, they're gonna be like, you knew you weren't gonna play? Like, do you think he has an answer for that? Like, hey, did you know you weren't gonna play tonight? Or like, what's good?
Look,
like,
man,
just a lot of questions
Let Chris get
about
in
this
and
whole
close it out.
season.
And some of these can be answered by upgrading the talent base of this roster to where some of these just to where you have no choice but to play some of these individuals just based off of their ability to play the game of basketball. I mean, you got, you know, the run of feel-good stories, the run of overachievers, the run of guys that have had a good month, you know, over their, you know, entire career, the run of someone just simply being solid defensively, and you know, the tryhards, that has to end, and it's clear, and I would hope that by the performances of certain individuals on this team, it's being made clear to the front office on what they have to do. You do that, we're not having these discussions. Even if Josh Richardson is the first person coming off your bench, Josh Richardson shouldn't be the first person coming off your bench. You know what I mean? I mean, he's not a six man. So, and you know, from injuries to decisions that were made, non-decisions, you were leaning on a lot of individuals that, I mean, look, man, they they would look, or you got a chance to make them or have them look better based off of what others were doing versus what they could do individually. And I think you need more guys on this team that have been around, that know their role, but are able to step outside of it and can contribute on the individual basis as well, as long as you're committed to BI and Zion. It worked when Zion was healthy. It worked for a little bit of a period when Brandon came back, was playing out the world. And it may work when those two are together, but we don't know. We don't know.
Man. Go ahead, Lito.
I just want to say, like, you know, I just hope the organization, you know, as Chris started his can I call it a monologue, his opening dialogue out with about you know, basically, like, you know, if this was prolonged, if you win this and then you go into the playoffs and then you win a playoff game, is more than likely you return with more of the same. But, you know, I guess the highlight of this is, if there is a highlight to losing, is now, you know, changes have to be made.
Silver lining.
Yeah, the silver lining in that, and then those changes. And to Ross's point, like it is like Willie needs to have better coaching around him to help him. You know what I'm saying? He's still a young coach. I get it. Like, and I think he did a hell of a job holding his team together throughout, you know, this tumultuous season. But like, if this team is serious, you got about 5 roster spots you need to upgrade.
Well, who was it that said that? You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to even get this. I mean, it's 12:30 in the morning.
Roster in the league.
I'm doing a podcast outside on a deck in Alabama. Before we log off, we got to shout out y'all for real. Everyone that watches the show, interacts, whether you like it, whether you don't, whether you agree, whether you disagree. We do this for y'all, man. We appreciate it, and we can't thank y'all enough for the support and interactions. And we ain't going anywhere. We got a lot of content. We got a lot to talk about this offseason. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear y'all's thoughts on what went wrong tonight. But I also have to shout out everybody on the stream, and including Five as well, who's actually at the Smoothie King Center right now. Y'all have been incredible. Lito had a kid that didn't stop you. Chris, you've been amazing. Chaz, Ross, as always, appreciate all of y'all. And just thanks for the wonderful job y'all did this year. And we got a lot more coverage coming this offseason, though. So, yeah, that's going to be it for us. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Boot Krewe Media and Birdsall Law Firm and Company Burger, located at 4600 Ferret Street. We will see y'all probably at the end of the week.
Talk to y'all later. Cancun.
Cancun on